There's four kinds of companies right now. Okay, there's infinitely many kinds of companies. Go with me on this. There's four. There's a universe out there in this entire world right now that falls into four buckets. One, when we went into lockdown mode, right? Shelter in place, shut in, locked in, whatever you want to call it. And organizations were starting to get ordered by their governments, by their governors, by prime minister, whoever, to stay inside. There were organizations that then had to work remotely, and there were organizations that fall into the first bucket. They were ready to roll. All our people have laptops. We have a huge network with lots of bandwidth. We have all the kind of stuff, and everybody can do anything we need remotely. Everybody go home and stay home. There were those kind of organizations, and they didn't really miss a beat. Awesome, right? Then there are organizations that fall under the category of we're going to continue to thrive because we have a product or service that the world is going to need during the pandemic, okay? Now, these organizations, some of them might need Amazon drivers, right? So drivers, okay, so we're going to drive you all over the place. Or they need people who can work remotely. Whatever they are, I'm not going to go through all the industries. I've already given you a download of 36 industries and position types that I think are going to rise. The second bucket are organizations that are going to rise, except that they were not completely equipped to work remotely. So what had to happen is they had to assemble themselves over the course of weeks or maybe still, and they're going to be fine, but they had to get everybody situated to work remotely. Give you a great example. YouTube. Okay, we're on YouTube, right? I'm a YouTube content creator. I get distributed to me lots of information. I internally, because they know I'm a creator, they send me information because they want me to know what's going on inside of YouTube and why certain things are happening that I'm noticing, like what the heck? Why are certain things not being approved when they should be? Why is my video not being circulated this way, that way, like it normally is? There's settings, blah, blah, blah. Like, can't everybody just work from home? They can. Except that a lot of the individuals who would manually review things that I as a content creator would create are in a different country. They're not over there on the left coast or the right coast or wherever their studios were. Those people were remote, and while they had offices that they would go to do the things that I'm talking about, they now all have to be home. But to be home is fine, except I got to ship them the laptops. That's going to take me a week or two. They've got to get it set up. I've got to make sure my net works. Okay, now that's not a problem. We have to get that. It's going to take a couple, 3 weeks, 4 weeks to do that. So hiring is going to slow down. That's the second bucket. The third bucket is organizations that are going to get smashed immediately. If you are in hospitality, travel, entertainment, event planning, you get where I'm going with this, right? Total suppression. People are canceling events. People aren't traveling. Hotels, vacations are getting canceled, and so on. Immediately getting crushed. However, once this thing is under control, I got news for you. I'm packing my wife and my puppies up. We're going to go somewhere, okay? So we'll get back to it, and we will help fuel those industries. Then you have the fourth bucket, which are industries that are going to have a delayed and prolonged reaction to this. A great example is like commercial real estate. So think about what happens for commercial real estaters. So if I worked in an office, in a building, or in a strip mall, or in a high rise or whatever, I have a corporate lease, I have office space, I have square footage designed for the number of people that I think are going to be in the office, and so on. All right, well, that lease doesn't just get torn up. Right now, I gotta honor it. I gotta fill it out. Right. I mean, meaning I gotta go to term, or I gotta cancel, or I gotta pay penalties or whatever. Okay. Well, what happens when I decide I don't need office space for 100 people? I only need it for 20, and I'm not gonna have bringing everybody in all the time, and they can stay home and wash their hands at their house and all that good stuff. So I only need 20% of the office space that I used to need. Okay, well, those people who were trying to sell the commercial real estate, they're going to take a hit because they're not going to be renewing. People are not going to be going in companies that are growing are not going to be buying these big office spaces. The leases aren't going to get renewed, right? They're not going to get the revenue, all that stuff. That's going to happen for a long time. okay? Because we now have a new normal, and we will now have a new normal way of working. 4 different buckets. Wayne, you got to figure out when you're targeting organizations, which buckets are you pursuing? Pursue 1 and 2. Stay away from 3 and 4. And then as your search goes on, maybe a month or 2 or so from now, you enter into bucket 3 as well. But you need to bifurcate your list, or you need to uptrain, pivot, whatever, if you're in some of these other industries. Okay, so that's what's most important for you to understand. It isn't, are they hiring temp or perm or temp to perm? It's, are they hiring and when, right? Or are they going to really be suppressed for a long time? And you have to remember that everything works in a continuous form. Now, I didn't go through every industry in the what's the warehouse, but those people who are in bartenders, servers, cooks, massage therapists, all these other people that have been now out of work collecting, going to try to get unemployment, well, they're not getting a paycheck, which means they're going into their savings or they're going on their credit cards. Then what's happening is they're going to get back to work and they're going to have to start earning money, and it's going to take them a while to recover. The days you're out of work take a lot longer to recover. It's not 1 for 1. If I'm out of work for a month, it might take me 3 months to get back to normal. Well, I'm not going to buy a new car. I'm not going to go, right? These other consumable goods, whether they're expensive or less expensive, but my jeans with holes in them, I can just keep wearing them, right? Like those kind of things are affected by people not earning. So while I think that on the positive side, the economy, forget the pandemic for a second, the economy is incredibly strong globally, most of it, right? So, I mean, 3 weeks ago, we had record low, a 50-year low in unemployment claims in the United States. That was not an accident, and it was not a myth. And then the following week, we had records in the 3.28 million, and then the next week, we had 6.6 million, and so on. But those people a lot of them are going to return to work. But then it's going to take some time to recover. 4 buckets. Keep your eye on those. And that is a very, very important concept for all of you to grasp. And we probably ought to clip this out. And I ought to probably just make this a little video about how to look at the different company types. All right, hope that helps you, Wayne.